Tarmogoyf and Dark Confidant used to be two of the best creatures in the modern format, and in today's video, I'm going to show you a deck that completely abuses them and brings them back to their old glory. This deck is called the Rock. This deck plays every type except for Planeswalker, allowing your Tarmogoyfs to be easily 5/6s and 6/7s, dodging cards like Unholy Heat, Lightning Bolt, and other key removal spells. This deck also plays so many threats that it overloads your opponent's removal and allows for Dark Confidant to stay on the battlefield and get you that card advantage that you need. Additionally, this deck is abusing cards like Shadow Spear, Urza's Saga, and Elvish Reclaimer to find your key lands. So we also play Witherbloom Command, one of the best removal spells for Wrenn and 6 in the entire format. It just allows you to evenly trade with Wrenn and 6 because Wrenn and 6 is always ticking up and just getting way too much value. And when looking at the sideboard, it plays an old ban card, Bitter Blossom, allowing you to make a bunch of flyers and completely dominate the air. This card is very crucial in stopping Murktide Regent, one of the most popular cards in the modern format. This deck is playing the full play set of discard spells, allowing you to evenly trade 1-for-1 in a format that's all about 2-for-1s. This is one of the only cards that fairly exchanges with expressive duration, which is a huge deal. But actions speak louder than words, so we're going to take this deck into a League of Modern and see if it can go toe-to-toe with the best decks in the modern format. Match 1, we're on the play with a mulligan and a pretty decent hand. We bobble ourselves, see a land on top, so we're going to keep that and not shuffle. Play our other bobble and say go. When it goes fetch land, Esper Sentinel. We look at our top again, we have another Blooming Marsh. We don't want that, so we'll fetch it away. Draw Inquisition and land, go for a fetch here and play Tarmogoyf. Opponent goes Springleaf Drum into a Stoneforge, getting Sword of Fire nice. We draw Urza's Saga, we'll play that. Tack in for 2 here. No blocks from the opponent. We'll Inquisition and pay for the Sentinel. Oof, opponent has Sword of Fire nice and Cauldron hand and a Sentinel, that's pretty good. So we'll take the sword and push the Stoneforge so we don't get Cauldron out on. The opponent just goes land Sentinel. Oh, and an Ornithopter, pretty good. Draw Springleaf Drum, pretty awkward. We'll just attack with Goyf and see if they block with their construct here. They don't make a construct and just take the damage. So we'll just bestage you this Urza's Saga when they make a construct because we do not want them grabbing Shadow Spear. So we kill the Saga and they'll grab a basic Plains. Opponent just swings out. We'll take 7. We're running this race though with a Shadow Spear. Ooh, land off the top pretty good. So now we can go a Saga, grab a Shadow Spear, equip, and play a Goyf, and this game should be over. They take the 7, we gain 7, we'll play another Goyf and say go. An opponent scoops him up, let's get into sideboarding. For sideboarding, we take out the slow cards and bring in our interactive cards. For game 2, we're on the draw, and this hand's just a little too slow, so we'll push this one back. Oh man, yeah, this hand is perfect. Definitely keeping this as a 6 and putting back a Reclaimer. Turn 1 aid from the opponent, definitely scary. Ooh, my god, Witherbloom, so good. We'll do the bobble trick on ourselves. Saga seems decent, we'll keep it. And we'll play our Reclaimer out here. And it just goes land go. We'll just slam our land and say Witherbloom on the Sigarda's aid, and we'll be pretty good here. Just resolves, we'll pick up a land and say go. Opponent plays a giver. We draw a Goyf, so we'll just slam Goyf. Tack in for 1, see if they'll block. Opponent's too smart. Land go again for the opponent, just really seeing the mold of 4 here. Send in with the team, see if they block again. We'll just go land go and make constructs. And opponent just scoops them up there. Just a mulligan to 4, really just punish them. Let's get into the next game. On the play for match 2 with a slow hand, but definitely worth keeping. We'll go turn 1 Reclaimer and hope it doesn't die. When it goes fetch land, go. We'll tack in for 1 and play our Dark Confidant. No removal spell and Confidant's on the board, feeling good. When it goes Temple Garden. Kavu, definitely scary. Oh no, and a Fury! Oh god. We just push and play Nile Spellbomb, hope that this can hold us. Oof, opponent plays General, and we don't draw anything off of our Spellbomb. And Blood Chief's Thirst cannot target it because it is hexproof from monocolored, so we'll just buy Giganta. And opponent goes Shardless Agent, and we'll just scoop him up there. Just too much pressure. But let's get into sideboarding. Bring in EE and go for the throat for our slow cards. Game 2, we mulled a 6, but a perfectly fine hand, just a bunch of removal. Play a tapped land, because Zoo doesn't really play a turn 1 creature very often. Nothing for the opponent, so we'll just go land go again. Opponent plays a Melira. I guess we'll just push this. Not sure what this card does, but just get rid of it for mana efficiency's sake. Ooh, big draw. Urza's Saga, we'll play that one next turn, I believe. Just buy Giganta this turn, because we'll interact with the opponent next turn, and then play our Saga and get some value. Oh, opponent plays General Rockrick. We'll just Witherbloom this one and feel freaking amazing. Lead on the Inquisition. Hand's pretty good, but we'll take a Kavu here, and we'll just Witherbloom Command and play our Saga. Opponent just untaps, plays a Melira. Redraw Thoughtseize, good draw. We'll get rid of this Fury. Now we can just go with the construct. constructs and feel pretty good about this game. Opponent attacks for 3, no blocks. And a Kavu. We'll just make our constructs and fetch here. Bitter Blossom, definitely a little late on this draw. We'll grab Shadow Spear off the Saga, go with the Witherbloom command, drain gain, pick up our Saga, play Saga. Opponent just goes straight to attacks, we will not block. Put away a land, not their Melira. They top deck a Wrenn and 6, not that great at this point. We'll just equip and try and take down the Wrenn here. No blocks for the opponent, so we'll just kill Wrenn. Opponent just goes straight to combat, attacks with Kavu, discards their redundant Melira. And we'll go for the double block because if they sack the Melira, they end up just dying here. Opponent cycles a land, realizes that they're just dead on board, and scoops them up. This 6 is a little slow, but I think it's good enough to keep. Just put back the Rot Farm and hope that their start isn't too quick. Whoa, opponent plays Leyline of the Void. Pre-game actions, whoa. We will just go land Inquisition. Only one take, so I'll take the Shardless. Opponent just goes tap land go. We'll run out our Goyf because it's not going to be too big with a Leyline on the battlefield. Opponent just goes land go. We draw an Urborg. We'll just attack with Tarmogoyf, see if they Leyline binding it. Yep, they just end up Leyline binding it. So we'll play our Reclaimer and Shadow Spear and pass the turn to the opponent. Opponent plays a Melira, not that great. Ooh, we top deck a Thoughtseize. Good draw. Can we get rid of this Fury if we need to? Well, opponent can't cast the Fury, so I guess we will take the Kavu here and just find an Urza Saga this turn and feel like we're pushing ahead. Opponent just goes to combat, attacks us for 3, no blocks obviously. We will find a Saga here, draw another land off the top. Not horrible, means we can activate Saga and Reclaimer. Opponent top decks a Shardless, pretty good for them. Whoa, into a Cinder Vines. Haven't seen this card in a while. It's really awkward. I make a construct to go to double block, but then I forget that the Cinder Vines can actually just kill our Shadow Spear and kill both of our creatures, so we're not going to block actually. It just evokes a Fury then. And with Melira, that's actually pretty good because now they can keep it on the battlefield. So we'll find another Saga, which is pretty good for us. Oh man, top decking a Bloodchief's Thirst can kill the Fury. That was such a good draw. So we kill the Fury, say go. One just attacks with Shardless, down to 5. Oh, they top deck a Kavu, that's pretty good. Okay, top decking an untapped source is not bad. We'll just make a construct and play Confidant and jump. Grab ourselves a Bauble to draw into something good, hopefully. One just goes to combat, exile something from their yard. Oh, and they drew a Boseiju. Oh god, we're pretty dead here. Well, Bob, serve your purpose, bud. Go under the bus. Oh, and they're drawing another Kavu. Yikes. Ooh, well, we drew a Bloodchief's Thirst off Bauble and a push. Oh my god, we're so good. We're so good. Holy shit. We gotta buy Giganta and hope that that can hold down the fort. So opponent's just gonna probably go to combat, play Kavu and say go. Yeah, they just play a Kavu. We'll push it. We'll take 2 off a Shardless, and we're gonna have to hope they don't draw anything too good. We draw a Go for the Throat. That's pretty good, just not now. We'll just cast the Giganta and hope. A Melira, that's okay. We can just go for the Throat that. Oh my god, we drew a Boseiju, so we'll equip Giganta, attack, and then we can Boseiju the Leyline Binding, get back Tarmogoyf. We have top decked like a freaking pro. No blocks for the opponent, so we're up to 7. Feeling okay. Okay, so we'll Boseiju the Leyline Binding since it costs 1, get back Goyf, block Shardless, and go for the Throat the Melira so we don't die to a Tribal Flames. Yeah, they sacked Melira to save their Shardless, makes sense. Top deck a Urza Saga, pretty good. So we'll just attack with Giganta. We're playing around Tribal Flames. Oh my god, they drew a Boseiju, jeez. So they'll just take 5 and we'll say go. They cast a Safi Urksdatter. Interesting. No attacks for the opponent. EE, great draw. So now we can force a chump block, play EE, and make a Saga token. Opponent blocks the Shardless. Play EE out here. Let's go. Opponent goes to combat. They don't attack. Interesting. We'll make a construct token. Draw an Elvish Reclaimer, just activate Saga, and I guess we go to attacks and we should probably just win. And we grab a Bauble, swing in there. Opponent blocks. And that's it. We win the game. Geez, that was a close one. I'll see you guys in match number 3. Match 3, we have a pretty sweet hand on the play, so we'll keep it. We'll shock Thoughtseize, and we are up against Yawgmoth. I think this is a pretty easy Yawgmoth, just the best card in their hand. Grist is also fine, but Yawg's just too good. Opponent just plays a Colony Garden. Okay, we draw a Bauble. We'll just play Bauble, Saga, and Bob, and hope that's good enough. And we'll Bauble them, see what the top card is. A Peat Land, that's pretty good for us. Just another land's not great. We draw another Bob, okay. Bobbing it up. Opponent just plays Strangleroot Geist and attacks for 2. No blocks, obviously. Bob gives us a Forest. We'll just play another Bob here. Fetch land, hold up, push. And we'll send in with the Bob, because I don't think they're going to block with the plant token. Opponent fetches. Seems like they're going to slam a Grist here. Yeah, they play a Grist. Attacks in with Strangleroot Geist. Definitely interesting, but no blocks. Opponent just ticked up with Grist. We push the token, because now we can just attack in We can kill the plant token with a Witherbloom command and just kill the Grist here. We'll grab Spellbomb off of Saga, pretty easy pick. Just allows us to kill both their creatures and then exile the Strangleroot. We Witherbloom command the plant token, pick up a Saga, play our Saga, swing in, kill this Grist. We're feeling pretty good. Oh, just top stacks a Wall of Root, tax in for 2, obviously no blocks. Oh, another wall, okay. Okay, Tarmogoyf's pretty good. Urza Saga's also pretty decent. Ooh, and a Fatal Push, looking pretty good. We'll just look at our opponent's hand again, see what's going on. Oh yeah, we hit a chord, bang bang. They could have chorded for 1 there, kind of weird. Just Tarmogoyf. Opponent just plays the Peat land that we knew about. Don't hurt us again, please. Blooming Marsh, good. Bloodchief's Thirst is fine. Witherbloom command's pretty good. Pick up Shadow Spear, put it on the Goyf. Just swing in with our 8-9 real quick, see what happens. Opponent plays an Endurance. Targets themselves, not sure why. And then double blocks with the Wall of Roots. So we'll just push the Endurance, Bloodchief's Thirst to Strangleroot Geist, and then exile their yard and be really far ahead. Then play our Saga and say go. They top deck an Ignoble. We can just Witherbloom that and win the game here. Hits a Goyf and a Thoughtseize, not great. Witherbloom, drain them. Send in with the team here. They are forced to block, so they block a Confidant, makes some sense. An opponent just takes the draw steps and concede. Let's get into sideboarding. Bringing in some interaction and taking out some slow stuff. For game 2, we have a pretty good 7 here. Pithy Needle, Thoughtseize, and Witherbloom, all pretty great. Opponent goes turn 1 Wolf. Draw an EE, pretty good. We'll just Thoughtseize them. Their hand is pretty awful. And we'll just take the Grist, easily the best card in their hand. Opponent just evoked an Endurance on themselves. Not sure about that play. Plays a Dryad Arbor as the land for turn. We'll just Witherbloom that one. Ooh, we top deck a Bob. Yeah, we'll play that. Opponent plays Outland Liberator. Bob flips Beseiju. We draw a Goyf, which is pretty good. But we'll Witherbloom their land drop. We hit a land as well. Nice little 2 for 1. And we'll block the Outland Liberator. Just an easy block here. Forgot to attack. Drew an Urza Saga. Rewarded for our play here. Just play a Tarmogoyf and equip it with Shadow Spear for mana efficiency reasons. Feeling pretty good about this game. An opponent just concedes. We went into match number 4. Our starting hand's a little weird looking, but I think it's a keep. Opponent mulligan to 5. Interesting. We'll just go turn 1 Spellbomb. Just in case they're like some graveyard shenanigans deck. Steam Vents DRC. Just unlucky, I guess. Oh my god, we drew Witherbloom! Yeah, well, we'll kill it. Hope we hit a land. Oh my god, and we hit a Saga. Wow, we're just so good at this game. Opponent just plays land go. We drew Witherbloom, pretty good. We'll just go Bag of Holding and probably say go and activate Bag of Holding. Opponent considers here. Okay, a nice little EI for the opponent. Hopefully can dig them back into this game. Consider. Just milling another land. We'll activate Bag. Probably just get rid of this Beseiju because we can't play it as a land. Draw land for turn, not bad. Fetch for a land. Urza Saga. Play Springleaf Drum. Make a construct. Tap that for black and Spellbomb the opponent. So they can't slam a Murktide Regent here because that's the only way I can really see us losing this game. We draw a Bobble off the Spellbomb. One goes Ledger Shredder Bobble to Connive, puts a Pierce in the yard. Bobble self, not sure why. Draw a Bob. Well, we're 100% making a construct here, and then playing a Bobble. Opponent bolts the construct in response, makes sense. We'll tap it for a black mana, so we can hold back the blocker that we make. And we only have Bobbles to get, so we'll grab one. Bloodchief's Thirst, the Ledger Shredder, play Shadow Spear and Bobble, say go. Opponent just plays Ledger Shredder on Holy Heat, not that big of a deal. There's a counter spell on top. Draw Fatal Push, fantastic. And a land. So if we want to be able to play Dark Confidant and Witherbloom, we have to let the opponent connive, so we'll let that happen. So we'll play Witherbloom, get back an Urza Saga, play Saga, play Confidant, allow our opponent to connive. They discard a Spell Snare, and we'll tap the Confidant for a black and push the Ledger Shredder. Opponent just kills the Dark Confidant. Drew a Reclaimer, pretty good, especially with the fetch land. Now can be a 3/4 and dodge bolt. Opponent counters it with the counter spell we knew about, but now we can just make constructs and feel good. We play fetch land so that we can use Bag of Holding into turn. So we'll fetch for a basic swamp, make a construct, tap construct for mana, and activate Bag. Obviously discard a Blooming Marsh. All a Thoughtseize, it's pretty good. We'll make a construct here, grab Bobble, Thoughtseize them, kill our construct, that's fine. We'll tap it for mana. Opponent just has a counter spell, not a big deal. And we'll Bobble them to see what their top card is because we can mill them with Witherbloom if we want and still pick up our Urza Saga, and Bolt's irrelevant, so we'll let them have it. Witherbloom for the Saga and say go. Draw a Rot Farm. Opponent just says go. Draw a Bloodchief's Thirst, make a construct, equip Shadow Spear, and send in with the team. We'll play Bounce Land, picking up a Seiju, get that 6 sweet life. And opponent scoops him up. For game 2, we're bringing stuff for Murktide and taking out our slow stuff. For game 2, we keep our 7, definitely a little risky, but fine. No turn 1 play for the opponent, so we'll just Inquisition them. Pretty good hand. We have to take the iteration, play our Bobble and say go. Opponent fetches and considers in the end step. An opponent just plays a turn 2 Murktide Regent. 6/6 on turn 2 is pretty good. Bobble them, see an Otawara, not that great. Draw an Inquisition and a Thoughtseize. A few too many discard spells. So we'll Inquisition, take the Blood Moon because we cannot beat that card. Now Spellbomb go. Opponent considers and puts a Murktide Regent in the yard. This goes land into Hearse. Draw a land, which is fine, but we're going to need to draw a removal spell for this Murktide Regent, or we are just dead this turn, basically. Draw into a swamp, not a great draw. Guess we will play our 1/2 Tarmogoyf, not great. Opponent just goes to combat after casting to consider, domes us for 7. We draw a land, we're just dead, but we might as well cast a Thoughtseize and see what's in their hand. And nothing crazy in their hand, so let's get to game 3. We have a slow hand for game 3, but definitely a keep. So turn 1 Reclaimer it up. Turn 1 Shock for the opponent. Draw a Springleaf Drum, pretty good. Go Saga into Springleaf Drum and then Tarmogoyf, hopefully. Opponent just kills our Reclaimer, RIP. DRC Ragavan for the opponent. It's pretty scary. We'll just play our Tarmogoyf, play a tapped land, and kind of just hope that they don't kill us here. Okay, casting an EI, not that bad. Get a Polluted Delta, please, no Unholy Heat. Oh, just a basic island, let's go. Draw another land, so sad. We'll make a construct and play Tarmogoyf. Grabbing Nile Spellbomb to turn off Delirium. We'll fetch our basic forest to play around Blood Moon as well. Oh my god, we got Spell Snared. Opponent plays Ledger Shredder. Just attack with DRC. I'm not going to go for the kill, just because Unholy Heat will absolutely destroy us. Opponent goes Consider. They connive away a land and draw their top card. Draw Thoughtseize, not bad. Oof. Well, at 11, their hand's pretty good, but we have to take Spyro here. Attacking with the construct. Opponent just goes straight to combat. Attacks with everything. So we'll block Ragavan and try and kill this, or exile the graveyard to make the DRC a 1/1. So we pop the Spellbomb. They Unholy Heat Argoyf. Oh, that's so good. And if the Spellbomb resolves, we will have Argoyf die because we don't have a instant in our yard. Oh my god, we drew a Fatal Push though. So now we'll just push the DRC with the exile still on the stack, and then we can get to actually keep Argoyf alive. And it works. Let's go. We're at 8 though, and we know they have 2 bolts in hand. And we just draw a swamp. We buy Giganta and say go, but we know we're going to die to 2 bolts and a connive trigger because that's exactly 8. An opponent goes for it, and that's just the game. We cannot beat them. So let's get into match number 5. Into match 5, we're going to keep a greedy hand and just hope that we draw land off the top. Since we're on the draw, it kind of makes a little sense to do this as well. Oh no, looks like another Ragavan Murktide deck. Drawing Bob, not the greatest. So we go Fetch, Shock, and Fatal Push because Bloodchief's Thirst can kill Murktide and Fatal Push cannot. Opponent just says go after making a land drop, and no land for us. So we'll Inquisition the opponent. They double Consider in response. Since we don't have an instant speed removal spell, we do have to take the Ragavan, sadly. Opponent casts the EI, gets a DRC. We can still kill that with Bloodchief's Thirst though. Yep, and we just Bloodchief's Thirst it and say go. Oh, looks like the opponent's just playing a Murktide Regent. Don't think we can win from here, and we'll just scoop them up. Same sideboarding plan, same matchup, so let's hope we can draw a little bit better. Our starting hand's pretty decent. Only really missing a Saga, but it's a keep. We'll go turn 1 fetch land, and we're not playing out our Haywire Might yet, because we'd like to push a Ragavan if they play one. Oh, it just goes land go, and we fetch on their end step. We'll go land Dark Confidant. Hopefully no Spell Snare. Oh my god. Oh, it just does Bobble go. They bobble us and see a... It's all another Dark Confidant, so we'll just slam it and say go. Build up a Fatal Push for Dash Ragavan. Yeah, and they just kill our Bob on the end step. And they cast an EI, plays a Bobble off of it, and hits their land drop, says go. We draw a Bobble. We'll just go Dark Confidant and Haywire Might here. We bobble them, see a Misty. They play it. Opponent just slams a Murktide. But we do get to draw 3 cards this turn, so hope we can deal with it. Draw Saga, pretty decent. Ooh, a Bitter Blossom as well. And a land. So we'll slam Bitter Blossom. Opponent just counters it, makes sense. So we'll go Saga go. Opponent goes Ledger Shredder. Bolt Confidant, that's fine. Now I have a way of Spell Pierce. And they only have 2 cards in hand, so we might be able to race with our constructs here. It'll push the Ledger Shredder, playing around Spell Pierce. And then we'll crack our Peat land. Hope we can draw a removal spell. Draw another Saga, pretty good. And an Inquisition, also good. We're gonna Inquisition them, see what they have. Now they're just on lands. We might be able to actually steal this game. Playing a Saga and saying go. Obviously plan to make Saga tokens. Chip in for our 1 damage. Opponent attacks attacks us for 6 and plays a land. Instead, we make a construct. We only draw another land, so we'll float a mana off of Saga and grab Shadow Spear. Equip Shadow Spear. Just resolves. That's awesome. And then we'll attack in for 5 with the Urza Saga activation. And that works. I think we might actually be able to win this one. When it plays an Islet and cracks it, you go to combat, think about attacking, and decide not to. Draw an Elvish Reclaimer, not horrible. Make a construct, get a artifact, and we'll just attack with everything. I'm pretty sure they don't have anything in hand. They just trade off here. So good for us. Play Reclaimer and say go. And we'll crack the Spell Bomb in their upkeep here. And the opponent just concedes. Let's get into game 3. Our 7 for game 3 is obviously a mole, no lands. Our 6 is a little greedy, but we got to be greedy in this matchup, so we'll keep it. Let's put back a Witherbloom command. Oh, it just goes land go. Springleaf Drum, not bad. We'll just go Springleaf Drum. Land Bobble for the opponent. Do we draw land off the top? Drum roll. No dice. So we'll play Reclaimer and Bobble. Opponent doesn't kill our Reclaimer. That's nice. We'll Bobble them. Do a Ledger Shredder. Opponent casts an EI. Exiles Bobble. Plays another Bobble. Ooh, no land drop for the opponent. That's huge. Inquisition and land. Let's go. So we can go Inquisition, Dark Confidant. Whoa, opponent has a good hand. I think we have to take the Shredder or a Bolt here. Just take the Bolt though, because we have a bunch of threats. And we also just have an answer to the Ledger Shredder and Fatal Push, so I'd rather just get my threats online. Opponent bobbles us in the end step. Another EI for them. This one hits a Steam Vince though, and they kill our Dark Confidant. Sad. Drew and Urza Saga, big draw, play Confidant, and say go. You can also cycle with Reclaimer here, which is really important. Opponent plays the Ledger Shredder, and Unholy Heat's our Dark Confidant. Have Confidant for mana before it dies, so we can use our Reclaimer. Attacks the Peat land, and I'm gonna grab a Rot Farm so that we can get a land drop next turn with our swamp. This is always one of my favorite plays. Rot Farm just allows us to get land drops. Draw a Bob. So we have to push and just make constructs this turn. Another EI for the opponent. Gets a Scalding Tarn. In response, I actually decide to get a Bajuka Bog here so they can't slam a Murktide Regent, because I can't beat that. We bog them, and they just play a Shredder. Do we draw a Tarmogoyf? We'll slam that. Now we can just grab a Saga on their end step. They lead off on a Consider. Play another Consider. Not even away a Spell Pierce. One has a Fury. Interesting. So they go to kill our Reclaimer. We'll just get a Saga, and our Reclaimer dies. Land off the top. So we'll just go Dark Confidant, attack with Goyf, and then make a construct. No blocks for the opponent. Down to 7. That's pretty good for us. And we play land and say go. They Unholy Heat our Dark Confidant, so we'll make a construct now because we have to. Thank God Goyf's a 6/7. Oh, so they had the Murktide Regent. They slam it this turn, a 7/7. Pretty good. No attacks though. Ooh, we draw Thoughtseize. It's a good one. We'll make a construct, grab Shadow Spear, Thoughtseize them. Oh man, good hand. I think we have to take the counter spell so that we can Witherbloom command. We take that and we're gonna command here. They do get to connive this way, which sucks. But I think we have to force them to play their Blood Moon next turn. So we'll pick up an Urza Saga, even though we know it will just die. Play Urza Saga and say go. Don't want to attack with the Goyf unless we're gaining 8 life, so we'll wait till next turn. Yep, an opponent plays the Blood Moon, plays land, and another Shredder. And they pitch a counter spell. No attacks for them. Ooh, we drew a Witherbloom command. So if we equip Shadow Spear to Goyf and send in with everything, they do have to chump twice. So we Alpha Strike them. They chump with Murktide, eat a construct, and chump with a Ledger. Well, now we just have lethal next turn with Witherbloom command as well. So we'll start on Witherbloom command, get back, I guess a Beseiju, and attack with our Tarmogoyf. They have to have something here. And the opponent concedes, ended up with a 4-1. Overall, really happy with the deck. Emrakul and Gaia's Blessing in the sideboard are for mill. We didn't even face up against them, but we didn't miss the sideboard cards. Play against a lot of, Murktide Regent, and we, split the games down the middle. I do think missing that Bitter Blossom, the third one, might have been, a little bit of a cost here because we didn't find them in the games where we needed them. But overall, really happy with the Rock League. This deck has continued to perform. If you want to check out my Patreon, I have a sideboard guide there. I will play a deck for you, and it's just really fun to do. So please consider doing that, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.